Okay, this video is going to focus on solving quadratic equations and the way we're going to solve these quadratic equations is we are going to solve them by factoring. When solving by factoring, you have to remember that the form before you actually factor needs to look like this: ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So a couple things about it. One, it's got to be a quadratic equation with the power of 2 as the highest power. If it doesn't have it, you may not want to actually factor it. Also, you want to make sure that it is equal to 0 when you're solving by factoring, or else it'll make your job a lot harder and you won't find the right answers. So as we try to solve by factoring, let's go with this first example. Right, so we'll have x squared plus 8x, and then we'll go with minus 9 equals 8x. Alright, and so as we said before, it's quadratic because it has the highest exponent of 2, and we want it equal to 0, and currently right now it's equal to 8x. So I'm going to move 8x over to the left side, and so I have x squared, and those 8x's will actually cancel out, so x squared minus 9 equals 0. The reason I move it to the left side and not try to move all three terms from the left to the right is because I want my coefficient in front of the x squared to be positive. So I want the x squared to stay on the left. Now I factor. It's difference of squares, so x plus 3 and then x minus 3 equals 0. Now you have two things being multiplied and their product is 0. And so in order to find the numbers that will cause these two parentheses to multiply to 0, x plus 3 and x minus 3, we just need to find when each parentheses will equal 0. So when does x plus 3 equal 0, and when does x minus 3 equal 0? And so we'll have x equals, we'll solve it out, subtract 3, so it'll be negative 3, and add 3, so x equals positive 3. Alright, let's look at one more. The second one that we're going to look at is 2x squared minus 6x plus 8, and that equals x squared minus x plus 4. Alright, as you look at this problem, now there's a lot going on, and you kind of have a choice. Do I move stuff to the left, or do I move it to the right? I know it's quadratic, but I know it needs to be set equal to 0. The way I make my decision is I move things to the side where my x squared would have a positive coefficient. So I'm actually going to subtract x squared, add x, and subtract 4, and move everything to the left. And so this would equal 0. And now I would have x squared minus 5x plus 4. And so we can say to ourselves, what multiplies to 4 and adds to negative 5? And that would be x minus 4 and x minus 1 equals 0. And that actually has two answers as well. And so x minus 4 equals 0 when x equals 4, and x minus 1 equals 0 when x equals positive 1. And so we have two answers. The last thing we said is that these two answers actually represent points on the function, on the graph of the function y equals x squared minus 5x plus 4. And they would represent the x-intercepts. And so if someone asked you to say, here's the equation, y equals, or the function, right, y equals x squared minus 4, and they said to you, where are the x-intercepts? You can actually factor the function, so y equals, it would be x plus 4, just kidding, x plus 2, and x minus 2. And when you factor that, now it looks like it's in intercept form, and we can state that the x-intercepts are at negative 2 comma 0, and that would go to 0 at positive 2, so 2 comma 0. So factoring also helps us find the x-intercepts of a quadratic function. Alright, and that's it for the video. Have a good day.